Thank you all for coming to the Better Than Red Bull panel. We are here to help inspire you to see a future where every company puts out videos, same as you do with your blog, week after week, more videos that bring your audience coming back. So I'm Anna Callahan. I just want to briefly go over what we're going to be accomplishing today. The first thing is that you'll see at your desk that there is a slip of paper, and we would love it if you would fill these out. We'll be using them for the rest of the panel. So just put your company name, either your mission statement or the problem that you solve, what you provide to people, and then in that third box, just put anything that is kind of an interesting thing about your company. It could be something that you have a dog that's always in your office and he's everyone's mascot, or it could be a particular new customer that you're trying to reach. Actually, you should definitely put down as well, under problem you solve, put down who your target customer is. So make sure you put your company name, your target customer, the problem you solve, and anything else interesting that you want us to know. While you're filling those out, we'll go through some introductions, and then we'll collect those slips and we'll hand them to our creative panel here. They will come up with some great ideas for your companies and what you could do to provide video content that keeps your viewers coming back week after week. While they're doing that, I will show you some of the best of breed of branded entertainment that is out today and has been out for the last few years. And then for the second half, we will be pitching shows to you about your companies. Any questions about the slips or about anything? Yes. Yep, so you can put anything there that you think is unique about your company, something that you want to bring across. It could be something specific about your employees, that something that bonds you together. If you all play the same video game, if you all knit, or it could be something about your target customer or about a new customer you're trying to reach. Just anything, yeah. Great. Okay. So first of all, we'll just do a brief round of intros. I'm Anna Callahan. I run a company called ZoomTilt, and we help smaller companies break into the world of web video and provide entertaining videos that keep your viewers coming back week after week. I'm going to pass this on to Mike Pecci. Feel free to be more detailed about yourself than I was about myself.
Good morning, guys. How are you guys this morning, actually? Is everybody awake? All right, because I've had about 4 hours of sleep, so bear with me today. My name is Mike Pecci. I work for a company called McFarlane & Pesci. We are a creative brand. We direct narrative content and some documentary content, as well as music video work. We've done work for Vice magazine. We helped develop Fightland. I don't know if any of you have seen the Fightland stuff, which is based upon the UFC fighters. And currently we are in development on a few narrative web series at the same time. So it's kind of cool that I'm on this panel because I'm doing the same thing right now. So, but cool. Thank you.
Good morning. Vladimir Zelevinsky. I'm here as a hack for hire. I write for whoever would like me to write things for. We worked with Anna a few times. I've written one web series for her, and we might see some of it here, or at least might have a few mentions of it. Anyway, I'm mostly a playwright. I have a few plays in New York City, and but sometimes I write for the screen, sometimes I write for newspapers, and sometimes I write anything else.
So my name is Shannon Vossler. I'm the co-owner and head of development at a brand new company here in Boston called FOA Entertainment. We've only been around 6 months or so. Before that, I used to work for a company called Powder House over in Somerville that did a lot of nonfiction television for Discovery Channel, History Channel, and those types. So my new company is very exciting. We're also doing nonfiction television, but we're also doing a lot of web video because we actually found it's easier for us to sell than a long-form television series. So the past 6 months have been diving into how to sell web series to brands and networks and convince people that web is actually a profitable venture. So yeah, super excited to be here. Glad to see everybody's a little bit more awake than I am, so this should be fun.
Shannon, no one is ever more awake than you are.
I have coffee now.
Wonderful. So if you would pass your slips toward the center, we're going to go ahead and pick those up, and we'll hand them off to our creative team.
Let's get ready to do what normally takes 3 days for 1. No big deal, we got it.
There you are, my friends. So they are going to write your pitches right now, and I'm going to give you a brief history of some of the best branded entertainment that we've seen. Big brands are already doing this. Big brands, and a lot of them are coming up with multiple videos per week, all in the same concept. The very first foray into this was actually in 2001, 2002 by BMW. And is there a way to dim the lights a little bit? Is that possible? No, not possible? Okay, great. Well, we're going to go ahead and see some trailers and some full videos. So the future that we see is when, does anyone know what, sorry, Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube all spent in the last few years hundreds of millions of dollars purchasing their own content because they believe in a time where televised video from broadcast and cable will be indistinguishable to the viewer from web video. So that day is coming, and it really leads to an intersection of advertising and Hollywood. You'll sit in the same chair, you'll use the same screens to watch video, whether it comes from NBC or HBO or Showtime, or from Hulu or from YouTube or Netflix. And a lot of the bigger brands have already jumped on board, and they are also creating their own series that they own, their own entertaining content.
She's a legend in her own lifetime. She's unrivaled in her world. She's a complete...
Callahan! Right here, darling.
Hello.
Hey, she doing okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
Show her the sights. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Let me see what I can do. You just hold on tight, sir.
So that's just a trailer. BMW did 8 of these 10-minute shorts. That one actually had Madonna in it, as well as most of them have other very well-known actors. And they got a 12% sales increase just from those videos. In fact, they were so successful, the first 4 that they did, that they commissioned 4 more, despite the fact that each of those videos, not the trailer, but the full 10-minute videos, cost over $1 million. They have a lot of helicopters and car crashes and explosions and stars, so those are among the more expensive ones.
The following takes place between 9:12 a.m. and 9:35 a.m.
What have you got?
Jamal bin Mohammed.
Where is he now?
Sure it goes cold in Lebanon.
Take a break, Jason.
Now the guys in the field need this.
Well, you've been at it over 20 hours.
Kind of like a hospital intern, right? All right, what's next?
Listen up, everybody. We got a situation in the Gulf. All right, so Lawson, Townsend, I want you in the sit room. And Rookie, why don't you go ahead and rustle up some coffee for us, all right? Let's go.
Yeah, I need to place an order for pickup. 5 double espressos, 4 large coffees with 5 sugars apiece, and some cream. Hold on, please. Hello?
2 more coffees.
All right, anything else, Angie?
Relax. You'll get your shot.
All right, thank you. Hello, I'm back. Yeah, make that 6 large coffees. Okay, I'll be there in just a sec.
Come on, Harold.
Here you go, ma'am.
Thank you, young man.
Little tough guy, huh?
That's why I love him so much.
Watch out!
Boom!
Marco, take it easy, dude. Don't draw attention.
You gotta be careful, man. You have the back door? Here you go, keep it, thanks. Yeah, I think some guys are trying to take down the merchant security bank. I'm gonna go check it out.
Where are you?
Right outside the coffee shop.
This is not your job, Jason.
Look, I saw the guns. Something's going down. Send backup, all right?
No, listen to me. We do not exist, all right? They cannot find out who you are.
They won't.
Besides, you don't even have a gun with you.
The Rookie, powered by Degree Men. More power than you need. One day you'll need it.
So that led to a 22% sales increase for Degree Antiperspirant. And I've watched all 3 seasons of this. They have dozens of episodes, and they never show the product once, ever. They just have a slate at the end saying it was brought to you by Degree.
Hey, Bing! Bing! Bro, are you coming into work to... Bing! Bro, what's wrong with your voice? Did you just wake up? Are you coming up? Oh. One double last... Oh, stink! It's delivery! shit.
Oh, come on, Livian. They're coming. Please.
Oh, I can't go deliver my pizza.
Oh, come on, I can help.
You've been bitten.
It's not blood. I can help. I used to deliver the paper. Come on, please.
Make your decision.
So
Oh dear, you're running out of time. Make up your mind.
that is my favorite one. And partly because it was made by a small pizza franchise in New Zealand and by a small independent film company. Unlike a lot of them, which are big brands going straight to Hollywood and paying a lot of money. But this shows that you can do stuff on a lower budget that's really entertaining. And they created multiple storylines, so you can actually choose either of those. And in one, he lets him in another one. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure. And then he continues to die until you choose the right format to get him to the girl to deliver the pizza. 43% sales increase for Hell Pizza.
I have this condition thing. Every time I wake up, I'm a different person. It's been happening since I can remember. I like to keep track of who I am, who I've been.
Wish I had a little more hair.
I've spent time being thin. I've spent time being fat. I've been pretty, been ugly.
Look at that.
With perfect hair. They say it's what's on the inside that counts. It's kind of hard to count when nobody can see your insides.
I'm Leah, by the way.
You're not gonna disappear on me, right?
I would see her again, but she would never see me.
So you notice they incorporated video footage from anyone who wanted to submit footage, and they essentially auditioned people online to be main characters, since every day this person wakes up with a new body. Any actor could play those roles. It was a great way to kind of incorporate user-generated video into the series.
It's the future Mrs. Brendan Burke.
Wait, what? You said yes? Yay! I keep getting these texts from an unknown number. Like, don't do what? Don't get married? What if you could create an app that let you give advice to your past self? You know, like text me later.
Or text me earlier.
Exactly. I just miss him so much. You need to meet people.
Lucy, this is Adam. This is Frederick from my psych class.
I don't know how to connect to people anymore.
Guys love Girl Geek.
Do they?
An app to rule all apps.
We bumped phones.
Great, now that your phone's gotten some action, it's your turn. We're getting you laid tonight.
Lucy? Lucy, you okay?
Hi, Dave.
Just because I'm Brendan's roommate doesn't mean you and I still can't be friends, right?
So that ended up just being a very popular web series. I recommend it. Very fun. Revlon, Ford, Bior, and Schick all got together to sponsor it. So that's just a tiny clip of a video, one of the Red Bull videos about Danny McGaskill. And I want to bring Red Bull in now. I put them in the title for a reason. Red Bull is a company that generates more money from their video content than they spend creating the content. So what that means is that brands are willing to advertise, to put commercials before and in between episodes of Red Bull video. So one of the big differences between what we call functional video, which is testimonials, product informational videos, advertisements, and what we call social video or entertaining video, is that functional video only has value to the company that produced it. So the only people who are going to get something out of viewers watching an ad or a product informational video is the company that makes that product. But entertainment, if it is pure entertainment, has value in and of itself. And this is what Hollywood's been doing. They make tons of money making great content. So if as a brand you can make truly great entertainment, then that can have value of its own. And as Red Bull has learned, it can be its own revenue stream. So I believe we are now at the moment of truth, if that's all right with you guys. How are we doing? Do you have a few things for our audience? Actually, let me take a couple of questions while they're just kind of finalizing their things. Are there any questions about the content that we've shown so far? Yeah. Yep. It's a great question, and I will admit that I don't know the answer. All of the statistics that we have are published by that company, and they have publicly stated that they attribute this sales increase specifically to that campaign. So BMW was at 12%. You mentioned both Degree and Hell Pizza. There are other ones. Does everyone know the Will It Blend Tech series? They claim a 500% sales increase, which is no surprise because they're wildly popular and it's such a tiny brand that now everyone knows who they are. But before that video series, probably not very many people had ever heard of them. Old Spice claims a 55% sales increase from the Old Spice Guy videos. Yes. So that brings up a great sort of larger question, which is about promotion in general. So first, the question of promotion in general, we always advise that companies spend the same amount on promotion that they spend on production. There's no way to get around, even with great content, it's very difficult to get discovered without any kind of promotion at all. Now, as far as targeting, YouTube is a wonderful place for discovery, but it's not a super great place for targeting. They can give you some analytics, but you're going to need to do your own promotion in order to target the people that you're looking for precisely. But there are definitely ways. There are a lot of newer companies like Varul and other companies, Viral Gains, coming out that help you to target target specific types of customers, and specifically for video. There are, of course, all the social networking, relationships with bloggers and with other content producers that already reach the audience that you're trying to reach. And a lot of times those people have, affiliate partnerships where they will show videos. And those are good places for trailers for what you want to show. So it's always good to target the content toward your target market, your target audience. But you'll also need to use promotion to reach that audience. Yes? The companies that have gotten into this so far, a lot of them are aimed towards gamers, towards younger generations, And that seems like it's a good match for simply who's watching video on the internet. As the whole branded entertainment and web video entertainment field grows, it will become something where you can reach anyone. But of course, you're still talking about on the web being able to reach a niche of people. The best bet is if you have customers who already communicate with each other and are, avid fans of your product or of some other, if they have something else in common, because those people already communicate and they'll share that piece of entertainment. One other question, and then are you guys ready to go? All right. Yes. One more question? In the back. Absolutely. So that's a big trend right now, which is to find content that is doing well and to sponsor that content. And there have been some studies that show that, incorporating your product into some already existing show or material is not as memorable as having your own show, but it's probably less of an investment. And it will allow you to kind of play with video and what you can do with video. YouTube stars are a big thing. We're reaching out to YouTube stars and incorporating product into their shows. It's definitely one way to get started. All right, and we are going to go ahead and get rolling with your companies and our pitches of shows that would keep your audience coming back. So first we'll read off the company itself, and then we'll pitch you an idea. We'll start with Mike.
Okay, cool. So, here's my pitch that I came up with in, 10 minutes? Okay. So the company's name is GSN Games. Snack Size Entertainment, Winning Moments. Identity is competitive entertainment, tournaments, casino. It looks like it's on the mobile device. So I'm assuming that this is like a company that does like mobile gambling and that sort of stuff. Like, I don't know whose this is, but yes? Okay, cool. So here's my pitch that has absolutely nothing to do with that. Okay, so here's what I would pitch. I would pitch a serial web series that is a high energy action grindhouse serial that follows a masked vigilante that rides on a motorcycle. I don't know if any of you are fans of like 1970s grindhouse stuff, but it's a huge subculture right now. Rides on a motorcycle and he's hell-bent on tracking down and killing this band of werewolves that killed his wife. Now, it's out of nowhere, right? It makes no sense. Here's what's so cool about it. There's a massive subculture for that. So if I was to make a series in that horror genre, I could reach out and tap into a horror actor who is out of work right now, or a B-list horror name actor that has a ton of attention from horror blogs. So if I can grab one of those guys and say, hey, look, we're going to do a regular series. I'm going to pay you a little bit of money, but it's really cool. It's very edgy. Right off the bat, all those horror blogs will be posting about the series, especially if it's someone that has been in retirement or someone that's older that I can tap into and pull out right away. Also, the reason why I like to do grindhouse stuff, I've done it myself in the past, is that we can have a lot of fun with it. So you could do like high action, high gore. It can look a little bit cheesy, so if we have a smaller budget, it works for the theme. And then we can team up with really cool music acts. I was talking about this earlier. There's a lot of like really great new subculture music that works for that genre. There's a lot of new electronic music, and a lot of the stuff that we do is music video work. And these labels don't have the money to do music videos anymore. So what we could do is we could team up with these labels and actually put out music per episode, which would be premiered. So we'd get the grants and the licensing per episode to do that. So right off the bat, all the fans of that subculture would want to tune into that piece because of that. And at the same token, record labels have such a great online presence, they'd be promoting the hell out of the show all the way through their blogs. So It doesn't have anything to do with gambling. It doesn't have anything to do with any of that stuff. But I feel like if you're going to do a series this way, you're better off not having anything to do with it, because as an audience member, you don't feel like it's an advertisement. There's something really cool about watching this really fun and exciting content. And then at the end of it, you go, oh, wow, that was brought to you by this company. Interesting. It's really cool that they have the ability to tap into that sort of thing. So, so that's that. There you go, 10 minutes.
The company I pulled out of the stack is Viacord Perkin-Elmer. Mission problem: expected parents provide cord blood tissue storage can be used to treat over 80 diseases. What I'm pitching is an episodic web series called Better Than Possible. You are targeting future parents. Everybody will tell you that being parent is a challenge. And they will give you extremely specific, very detailed, very convincing examples why it is a challenge. And then they will all tell you, but it's also wonderful, it's worth it, you should absolutely go for it. But they will not give you examples of why is it wonderful, why is it worth it, why you should go for it. So the point of this series is to compensate for that. Each episode is scripted, filmed, to show the story of how parenting is better than you thought possible. That it's a specific narrative about one particular instance of it being an absolutely wonderful, amazing transporting experience. Whether it is your child learning to walk, learning to speak, or taking the video camera to make the best possible video of a cat falling over a piece of furniture.
I love those videos.
Sold.
Awesome. So is anybody else in the room obsessed with House of Cards like I am? Anybody? You can't stop watching it. So for Connolly Partners, who does basically tourism for the state of Massachusetts, what about a local version of House of Cards, where you have a corrupt local-ish politician who is trying to figure out how to navigate the political system, but also taking care of his family and protecting them, and keeping the proper authorities in the dark? Because if everyone who's seen House of Cards, raise your hand if you want to actually go have barbecue at Freddy's. Am I the only one who's like, damn, I want to go there? And was in Baltimore last week and actually asked somebody if Freddy's existed, and they laughed in my face. But if you can plant enough of those little actual locations in a compelling, scripted, crime, intrigue, suspense drama, people will go. And you can do things like embed discount codes at like the aquarium or something. Let's say the guy decides, oh, I'm going to keep my wife and kids happy, I'm going to take them down to the aquarium. You get 50% off on Tuesdays. Well, guess what? If the aquarium does 50% off on Tuesdays, you get some partnerships going there too, which could help pay for the series. But you'll also get like the little known places in Massachusetts, because you want all this little back alley intrigue, crazy, is he gonna die at any minute? Is he gonna kill that other guy? But you can also have enough really good, compelling characters that you don't just drive home the gritty Southie aspect. You can have well-respected, I don't want to say politicians, but well-respected, well-groomed actors playing amazing roles to give the other side of Boston that isn't just Matt Damon and Ben Affleck beating up people, which is also awesome, by the way.
All right. I am going to present Equal Exchange. They're a chocolate and coffee company. Their mission is connecting real people from farm to consumer. And they're trying to reach out to 20-something men for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to suggest a web series called Connection Lost. And this is a thriller romance about a Valentine's Day where two friends, are locked inside their apartment during a zombie alien apocalypse, and they fall in love over a dinner of chocolate, because that's all they have to eat. And we'll incorporate directly into the footage, we'll incorporate a coupon code from Equal Exchange. And anyone who finds that coupon code can email us, and we'll mail them 2 free bars of Equal Exchange chocolate.
Hello?
Oh, thank God you're at home. You are home. Okay, do not leave. Stay there. Stay right
What?
there.
What? Who is...
Stay there and do not, under any circumstances, touch any wires. Do you hear me? And most important of all.
Who is this?
Ophelia, you know me.
Of course I do, but...
Listen to me. Stay where you are. I'll be there in a minute. And most important, do not use your cell phone.
Don't answer it.
It's my mom.
No, it's not. It's not her, Greg. It's them. Do not answer it. Greg, don't answer it. Greg.
To be continued. So that is one that we actually did. I throw one of those in there. And we did incorporate a coupon code, and people would email us saying, I watched the series 5 times and I can't find the coupon code. Are you sure it's in there? Maybe it's, in this graffiti. And we're like, no, it's in there. It was, in fact, it was written for about 3 seconds. It's written code, and then the code, and then the code, and then the code, 100 times across the screen. But people didn't see it because it was at this moment of intense action, and they were caught up, so they didn't even notice it. That was very fun, but people did win chocolate bars, and we did mail them out, and it was very fun. We got about 150,000 views in a week, the week of Valentine's Day. And the series, I should mention, it's hard to find out what the budgets are for these series because people don't like to talk about that. Since we did it, I can tell you that the entire 6-episode series cost less than $10,000. It was extremely inexpensive. And now we'll go on with more pitches from you.
Okay. So my next one is a little company called JetBlue. And the mission or problem that we want to solve is bringing humanity back into travel. I think that's what that says. Okay. Here's my pitch. I say we do a documentary travel type show. Like, we all love Anthony Bourdain. We all love going to different places and discovering new foods and whatnot. Why don't we do a show called Home Cooked? And a show where we travel all over the world and all over the country, and we actually go and sit down and document family meals. Meals where families actually get together, grandparents and parents and kids, and they have a Sunday dinner. And what's that like? What is the grandmother like? And is she bitching about her daughter's husband? Like, the whole thing would be completely fascinating. The foods, the family element of food. This is, I mean, I've been on this tangent for a while, but family meals have been disappearing through a lot of different cultures in America right now. So it would be really cool to go and document it for real. People that don't eat dinners in front of televisions, people that actually sit down and have dinners with their elders or have dinners with their parents, or they actually sit around a table and talk about what they did all week. This would be fascinating. And since it is JetBlue, it would also be interesting if JetBlue was to arrange to have family members fly out to go and have dinner with folks that they're not allowed to have dinner with. Or if a family has relatives that are in Italy and this family doesn't have the family situation here in the United States, they fly to Italy and they become part of a huge family meal on a villa in Tuscany. The idea of doing something that explored humanity, explored what we love about families and what we love about food would be a lot of fun. So that's my pitch for that.
The company I have is Wild Agency. Use behavioral science and marketing best practices to motivate people to act. The identity element is the use of human behavior triggers in direct response. I'm suggesting a superhero series called Trigger with a unique superhero who doesn't have any superpowers, but has a unique ability of triggering hidden, latent superpowers in other people. So each particular episode is a crisis. The superhero is either randomly, as they usually are, caught in the middle, or swoops in for the rescue. And all that he or she does is find other people who have skills that can help to resolve the crisis. So we start with the crisis. The hero is caught in the middle. The hero finds another person and makes them into a superhero, convinces them to become one. At the end, the superhero slinks off while everybody else pays attention to the newest superhero who did save the day.
Sounds like fun. So here's a little local company that you may or may not have heard of called New Balance. It says that their mission right now is being seen as less of a shoe for overweight white males and more edgy, young, and fresh. I was like, I own New Balance shoes. I'm not an overweight white male. But this is what I really liked, is that the identity element is you never know who you'll bump into at the office. But so taking you never know who you'll bump into and young, edgy, and fresh and not overweight white males. What about like an offbeat romantic comedy about young 20-somethings, siblings, who live together and try to find the perfect mate for each other? They've got a pact that they've got to figure out, okay, you've been single too long. Well, you've been single too long. Well, I'm going to find the right girl for you because I know better than you. Well, I'm going to find the right boy for you because I know better than you. If any of you have siblings, this conversation might sound a little close to home. But you can do hilarious and bizarre dating stories. You can do escapes from dates, from people climbing out of windows to pretending to be something else, or having a friend come and be like, oh my gosh, your mother is dying in the middle of the date. You can do all sorts of crazy stories that you pull from social media. Everybody has a horrible date story, and everybody can't wait to share it with the world. So you can put out a call for who's got the worst dating story, or what would you do in this situation? Have a would you stay on the date or would you run away, and have alternate endings to each video. So if you do it in kind of like a How I Met Your Mother meets It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia way, you can hit the tone just right, that you're going to get 20 and 30-something guys and girls watching it, and the 45 and 50-year-old white males won't understand any of it. So
I'd love to take a little break from the round robin, and let's have the three of you work together on a pitch. Is there a good one for that? What I'm hoping to do is let you see the creative process. So let's say that you're working with a team of creative people to come up with an idea for your company. We're going to see how they do this. They've so far just been pitching, individually, but normally you're going to get together with a team of people and brainstorm ideas. So we'll go through that process right now.
Can we just start by saying that the development process usually takes days or weeks? So what we come up with, even just today, has not been anything final by any means, just a first shot. Is this the one?
Yes.
All right, the company name is Integrated DNA Technologies. We enhance productivity of life sciences and biomedical researchers by providing the highest quality DNA synthesis and custom biology products. Identity element is we're located in Iowa, and we're the largest synthesis company in the world. I'm not entirely sure what DNA synthesis actually is,
Well, that's
but
you start by explaining what DNA synthesis is. Yeah. Excellent.
in a test tube, or is there like a particle collider thing? Or? Awesome.
All right, so we have futuristic technology set in Iowa. There is already a conflict somewhere there.
William Shatner was born in Iowa, Captain Kirk. You could do a whole little, the origins of sci-fi thing.
Yep. Oh, you have a microphone on. So what you have is science fiction set in Iowa, where the whole point is a secret, a DNA that nobody knows what it does. And there is a...
Well, I think the very first thing that popped into my brain is obviously a drama, Contagion, because everybody thinks when I saw DNA synthesis, I thought of lab coats and outbreak, and we need to save the world. But it's not really CDC, it's DNA synthesis. And something like Contagion is very expected. You want to go a little out there when you're thinking about web videos. So I started thinking about comedy. And the first couple things that kind of spun into my head is having a conversation with somebody. I barely understand what DNA synthesis is. So it's like conversing with nerds, almost. No offense to the company. But just ordinary people and the average Joes, like the sports fan, or people like me, I make pretty pictures for a living. It takes a while for me to understand the intricacies of science. So it's having a conversation with a nerd with almost subtitles. What he said, what she said.
I've got an important question. Who are you trying to reach? Who ultimately are you, why would you want to do one of these? Why would you want to sponsor a series? Who would you want to be watching this? Do you want the general public watching this, or is this something that you're trying to reach a specific group? Which is interesting, because then you don't want to do something that is around any sort of contagion. If you're trying to reach that group, then you don't want to make something that they're going to look at and go, that's bullshit. So at that point, unless you're going to make something specific about DNA that is factual and it becomes some sort of doc thing, you want to go off on a completely different tangent. This is an interesting one, because
what if you actually do make it about the DNA, but you make it an animated series? They're the 4 ACGT. What if those are animated characters? And it's a sitcom or something weird where they're able to make science jokes. Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory makes all these, it's like Drake's equation, blah, blah, blah. And if you know what Drake's equation is, that's hilarious. If you don't, you laugh at him because you have no idea what he's saying. But scientists who are able to be I get that. It's kind of like the Facebook page, I fucking love science. Hilarious for scientists. Even for people like me, it's that's kind of cool. And then I Google what it actually means.
Another avenue you could go down is, it sounds like you guys are in a position to help further medical research, and so essentially you can save lives. There was a show, and I wish I could remember what it was called, but there was a show that only had one season that was about one of these organ delivery guys, and in every episode you saw the person whose life ended and where the organ was taken from, and then you saw the person that he delivered this organ to and how their life was made better. So I'm thinking of a show that's about a DNA delivery person. And what they do is they show up at, whatever kind of, and I understand that it's for research purposes, but if you're going for more of a broad audience appeal, then having a drama, set in a hospital where, this person shows up with DNA that is going to save the day every time. And you could really incorporate a lot of sort of family elements and, gripping end of life and life transforming beginning of a new life episodes.
And I would imagine you don't need to invent a lot of those stories. You have customers, you know what can be done with DNA, you know what are the real stories, the real cases you are trying to solve, the real people you are trying to help. So there you go. There is a fiction series that can be based entirely on the work you actually do.
And even if it's solving things in the future, you can still, because we're talking about, fiction, you can still present like something that scientists are working on in the future that maybe in 5 years will be ready for medical use. You could present that as if it's happening today.
There's also something cool, and this goes for any company, not just integrated DNA. Like coming from the non-fiction world, if you have any amazing employees who have a rock band on the side, make that a reality show. Like put a face to your company that's personal, that's not just what you do. Because it doesn't matter or not if you're seeing them in the lab. No, it's these interesting people who have a rock band, and oh yeah, by the way, they all work at the same company. Like, I'd watch that show.
So I'm going to suggest we do one more round of pitches from each of us.
Like half of a third one.
Awesome. I'm going to present one from Kmart. I think we all know what they do. They provide clothing and household decor. They are trying to reach out to teens, and they want teens to feel like they each have their own style at Kmart. So I'm going to present a teen romance called First Day, and it is about a girl whose high school heartthrob has finally become available, got dumped by his girlfriend, and he wants to go to the prom with her. But everything else goes wrong that day. And when she wakes up the next day, which is the next episode, it's the same morning. So she gets to redo that day. Knowing what she knows, she gets to redo that day as though it were fresh. And every character in the series will be a single line of Kmart clothing, and they'll always wear that line of clothing throughout the series. And they will also, all of the home decor for any of their bedrooms and stuff will also be Kmart products. And as you might guess, this is actually an existing web series. So I'm going to show a trailer for it.
Rosie, I've got scoop so hot it burns. JT broke up with his G-friend and Peeps are whispering that he likes a girl on the soccer team.
I've been crushing on this boy JT for as long as I can remember.
Are you deaf for sure going to the dance tonight?
Only if Rosie will go with me.
And now, I finally get my chance. Deaf for sure. But the one obstacle that can stop me
Just know any chance you think you have the JT is a tragic dream.
will prove to be a challenge.
Today is Secret Psych Day. Each one of you will receive an anonymous gift from a senior.
My secret psych gift felt like a prank.
Does your stuffed dog come with stuffed fleas too? Tragic.
I know Whitney, and she's really in the JT, and maybe you should just back off a bit.
I've waited too long for this.
You! My iPod is missing and I bet you stole it.
I do not support commotion.
Rosie stole my secret psych gift. The new iPod Touch. My psych totally gets me.
Open your locker. You are hereby suspended, effective immediately.
But tonight's the dance!
Yes, and you won't be going.
I was framed. She's just jealous that JT asked me out. She did it! I'm supposed to be at the dance with JT. So I made a wish. I wish today never happened. Never happened. Never happened.
Rosie, I've got scoop so hot it burns. JT broke up with his G-friend.
Whitney? Already?
JT dating Whitney? Oh, only in your nightmares. You'll def have your shot with him tonight at the dance.
But the dance was last night.
Bro, it's tonight.
So the dance hasn't happened yet?
You are correct.
Now I have to relive the same day over.
Bro, are you okay? Bro?
Until I get it right. First day to first dance. Sorry.
Looks like we just had our first dance.
Find out what happens on Facebook.
And we'll do a quick, 1 minute each for one more round. Then we'll take a question or two, and that'll be it for today.
Okay. So, real quick, another small company that I happen to get in my stack is a company called Microsoft, which I'm taking full advantage of this moment, and I'm going to do a pitch. I am pitching a show right now that is a sci-fi, cyberpunk X-Files. And basically, it is about a group of listeners. There are these creatures or people, we don't know who they are, that exist currently among us. And there are two teams of bounty hunters that are hunting them down. Now, do you guys know what cyberpunk is? Has everybody seen The Matrix, correct? Okay, The Matrix is the closest example of what cyberpunk is. Cyberpunk comes from Japan. It's Japanese animation, so there are these old animated shows called Ghost in the Shell and all this sort of stuff. They have this very futuristic, beautiful, neon-lit vibe is what we're going for. So the cool thing about this show is that it's all about technology. It's all about hunting down these creatures that exist and chasing after them. And these creatures are shapeshifters. You never know who they are. And the only way that you can actually find out is by running certain UV lights over either their eyes or their blood. So the cool thing about it is it's a race against time where one creature is trying to survive and all these people are hunting them. So every episode ends on a cliffhanger. Every episode is also littered with electronic music. Every episode is littered with all of this really current musical stuff. And one of the descriptions in our script is Boston city streets, cyberpunk, the new face of cyberpunk is all of these people that are looking at their phones. So if you ride the train today, if you are walking down the street, if you're sitting in a coffee shop, everybody has their face in their devices. And we're sort of promoting that and advocating that. And so that's something subconsciously that we would be doing with Microsoft if we were to do that.
And I just looked at our time, and I believe we are out. No worries at all. I hope it was fun. We'll be here for a couple minutes afterwards. We'd love to answer any questions you have. Don't forget that video is the next blogging. Soon, everyone will be providing video content week after week to bring their viewers coming back. We would love to help you do that.
Also, Virgin Pulse, I have a pitch for you, so come over here.
Blue Man,
Thank you all
I
for
gotcha.
coming.